I want to play a game. And this game is called You're the Head Creator. The rules are simple. You're the head creator of SmackDown Live. This is the go-home show to an all-women's pay-per-view event called Evolution. Your main goal and your main objective is to highlight and showcase the females for Evolution in the best way possible on this show. So how do you do it? How do you kick off SmackDown, the go-home show to Evolution? Something epic with these females. An opening female segment that captivates the WWE Universe and makes us need, not just want, but now we have to tune in Sunday. Or do you start it with the Big Show versus Kofi Kingston? The correct answer, if you want to advance in this game, was an epic first female segment. Right from the get-go on your go-home show, you captivate us. And now, fresh in our minds, is Evolution. Now, we are actually starting to get excited and intrigued for this event. Something WWE has not let us do since the announcement. If you said Big Show and Kofi Kingston, you do not advance to the next round. So for those of you that advanced to the next round, here's the next level. How do you end SmackDown Live's go-home show to Evolution? An epic female segment that's gonna captivate us even more. And when we fade to black and SmackDown goes off the air, now we have to tune in Sunday to the all-women's pay-per-view Evolution, because we just saw something epic, and that's gonna lead to something even bigger, even more epic. Or do you end SmackDown with Randy Orton posing on the turnbuckle? If you chose Randy Orton posing on the turnbuckle, you would be wrong. You would end the go-home show to Evolution with an epic female segment, showcasing and highlighting the talent that'll be putting on your pay-per-view this Sunday. So what am I saying? WWE failed miserably last night. They didn't even get through the first round, the first level of this game. WWE dropped the ball in so many ways, and that's a shame, because SmackDown is usually much better than Raw. But how the fuck do you give the females 8 minutes and just 2 segments last night? That's what they did. The Big Show started SmackDown. Randy Orton ended SmackDown. You can't make that shit up. And then you wonder why I say now, more than ever, Evolution needs AJ Lee. AJ Lee is Evolution's last fucking hope. This is SmackDown Live's review and reaction show for Tuesday, October 23rd, 2018. Let's rock it. Honestly, we are at a point now where AJ Lee is our last hope. If this pay-per-view Evolution is going to have any semblance of success at all. Because that's what booking and lack of creative, that's what they have pigeonholed this event into. What could have been and should have been an epic event is now in a garbage position. It's in a trash hole. It is in a tragic state. And that's a shame. And I said from the beginning that AJ Lee has to be a part of this pay-per-view. It's not an if, it's not a maybe. It's not about who is throwing a hissy fit if CM Punk doesn't like it. Tough shit. Tuck your tail between your legs and hide in the closet during those 3 hours. While your wife is making a living. While your wife is doing something that she is still, nobody can tell me differently, is still passionate about. That's the only thing that can save this event now. And again, I said this when Evolution was first started. The announcement was made. I told you guys AJ Lee has to be there because she fucking made the Evolution. She created it. If not for her pipe bomb that she gave to the Bellas, talking about how divas are actually ruining this shit, and she doesn't want to be perceived as such, if that doesn't tell you right there, that's the start of an evolution. The first women to really stand up to the fucking divas and say, I don't want a divas championship, I want a women's championship. If that's not enough to sell you on the fact that it was her, then how about starting the Give Divas a Chance movement on social media that got Stephanie McMahon to actually have to respond? Don't forget, the definition of revolution is to stand up against the government and the power authority. There was only one female in WWE history to do that. It's AJ Lee. So you can put on your little keyboard all your favorites that you think started the revolution. It was Emma and Paige, BC. It was the Bella Twins, BC. It was Trish, Lita, and every female who's ever stepped in the ring, BC. They all had a part in it. Bullshit! It sounds cute, doesn't it? Doesn't that sound cute? Every single female that ever stepped in the ring had a part in the revolution and the evolution. Aw, that's adorable. And that's a cute PC statement, right? It's politically correct. And it's the participation trophy award thing to say. If you stepped in the ring, you all had a part in it. That's fucking adorable. I stepped in a Dunkin' Donuts once. Doesn't mean I made the donuts or the fucking coffee. Doesn't mean I helped make the place with my $1.40 coffee. Contributions are great. That don't start a revolution. The definition of a revolution is to stand up against the governing body or the power and the authority. That was only one female. I don't give a fuck about who stepped in the ring to wrestle any match at any time during any decade. AJ Lee literally started the revolution because it's factually the definition of a revolution. I've made 3 videos at least on this, and I still get dim-witted idiots that type in the keyword. Sorry, BC, I disagree with you on this one. It was the Bellas, Emma, Paige, Trish, Lita, this one, that one. The Pillsbury fucking Doughboy, the Loch Ness Monster, they all started it, BC. And I just don't know how many times your parents dropped you on your head. What part of there is an actual definition of the word revolution are you not understanding? You can't create your own definition. AJ Lee literally, factually started it because that's what the definition says. Who stood up to the power and the authority? Who went against the grain? It was AJ Lee who stepped up to Stephanie McMahon, who started the hashtag, who started the movement on social media. It was her pipe bomb going against the divas. So I made the video when Evolution was first announced saying she has to be there because she started this thing. And now, I didn't think 2 months later we would be here today. The final go-home show for SmackDown is over. That's the final show. In 4 days, Evolution is upon us. I did not think when I made that video 2 months ago, talking about how AJ Lee just needs to be there, say hello to your fans, let your fans show the respect to you, even if it's only for one night. But she has to be there. And here we are 2 months later. I never thought I'd be in the position to say now, she's actually our last hope. Now, I know all signs are pointing to most likely she's not going to be there. She's not going to show up. But if she's not scheduled to appear, WWE has to come to some fucking terms in the next 4 fucking days because they have pickled themselves and pigeonholed themselves into a fucking corner that they can't back themselves out of. She is literally our last hope to literally, when that music plays, that could easily save a tragic shit show pay-per-view. One female could save this whole fucking thing. Make it at least fucking memorable, even if it's just for one moment in the whole 3 hours. Because you look at the card they gave us, a nonsensical throwaway battle royal, a 6-women tag match, meaningless tag that we've already seen 1,000 times. Isn't this the type of stuff that was supposed to be the evolution of the women? Isn't this what we were supposed to be getting away from? The 6-women tags, the battle royals, the nonsensical matches, and getting into actual storylines, feuds, one-on-ones? This is what it was all about. This was the evolution of the women. Instead, it looks like we just went backwards 5 steps. This is a de-evolution. And I talk about the definition of the word revolution. De-evolution is an actual word. Look it up. And it is the opposite of evolution. It looks like we went backwards. This is not just the same nonsensical bullshit that WWE usually gives us for the females. This is even worse. Because it was supposed to be something grand, something epic, something special. Just like Raw on Monday night, Tuesday night, SmackDown did the same thing. We went a whole half an hour before they even mentioned Evolution or any female appeared on the show. Just like Raw, SmackDown starts off with the fucking Big Show and Kofi Kingston. And the Big Show can't have more than a 3-minute fucking match, so this match went 3 fucking minutes and everybody schmozzed in. The Bar, the New Day, and now the first segment of SmackDown on your go-home show to Evolution is featuring the Bar and the Big Show and the New Day. What the fuck does that have to do with Evolution? And more importantly, even for their event, Crown Jewel, how is that an epic match for Crown Jewel? The Big Show, starting off SmackDown, makes no sense for Evolution, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, or 10 years from now's SmackDown. No event coming up in the near future that any of us are going to be alive for is the Big Show going to be relevant. And he's kicking off an Evolution go-home show. A schmaz with the fucking Bar and the Big Show. Why are they even together? What are you going to have are you going to have 3-man tag team championships coming soon? When they introduce the women's championships, now we're going to have fucking 3-person championships. Is that what's happening? Now they're going to form 3-man factions? The Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler, and Braun Strowman, that whole experiment, is that now shifting over to SmackDown and we're going to see more of this? I hope not, man. I cannot stand 6-person tag matches. The women have ruined that for eternity for me, but I never liked them even before that. After that schmoz of a fucking beginning to SmackDown, you think we're going to get some females to actually promote Evolution? No, we're going to the Roman Reigns segment from Monday night. So now the Tuesday SmackDown crowd is totally fucking depressed as fuck. The air is totally sucked out of that SmackDown crowd just like it was on Monday night. Because that Roman Reigns shit, it's depressing as fuck. Because it's all too real. And I understand that. And I know you gotta show it at some point. But fuck. Kicking off SmackDown? So now we're gonna get some females. Right now that everyone's nice and fucking depressed, we'll get the fucking women out there and actually start to fucking pump up Evolution. No, we won't. Now we're going into AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan taking on the fucking Usos. This match went about 8 fucking minutes tops. That's tops. And it ends with AJ Styles kicking Daniel Bryan in the face inadvertently, and the Usos pick up a victory. Backstage, AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan are having a hissy fit like 2 brothers. Little temper tantrum. This is the most lackluster build to AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan that I could have thought of. Then again, they just rushed it to Crown fucking Jewel. So I'm not surprised. This could have worked especially if you're going to have another match at WrestleMania. But the build, the feud, the storyline, it's not there. It's not existent. That's a shame. That's the two of the best wrestlers in the world. Easily the two best wrestlers in WWE, up there with Rollins and Cesaro. And this feels like just a lackluster match. And it's not. It's Daniel Bryan versus Styles. They just threw them in there with the Usos. I can't even tell you. And none of this has anything to do with the go-home show to Evolution. None of this has anything to do with Evolution. We are a half an hour into the program, and not one iota. Now we come back from commercial, and finally, we get Charlotte and Becky Lynch's segment. And it's Charlotte at the Performance Center. Now I'm going to tell you what I feel on this segment, and I know it's not the popular. I read some social media. A lot of people were not happy with this. There are too many camera angles. It came off insincere. It didn't look realistic. Here's my fucking thought. I call bullshit on that. I thought it went off fucking perfectly, beautifully. Give me all the camera angles. I thought it came off very sincere, very realistic. Charlotte was there to help out the younger ladies. It's an event that happens all the time at the Performance Center. The guys and the gals go down there and they give these speeches all the time. So it's very realistic. Becky Lynch is so callous in her attacks on Charlotte. She knew where Charlotte was going to be, and she showed up. And I love Becky Lynch's promo that she cut while walking through all of the NXT students and wrestlers. And she's cutting a promo, and Charlotte is starting to come to her face, and they start coming to blows. NXT talent has to separate them. Charlotte is screaming, "Who are you? Who are you?" Becky's screaming, "You're not taking my title. You're not taking it from me." I love it. And you guys know, if you watch this channel religiously from day one, I love when they take the story and the feud out of the ring. I love the wrestling, but don't forget, you are also a television entertainment show. You don't always have to be on the stage. In this case, the stage is the ring. Take it off of the stage, and you can create some awesome television, some awesome entertainment. Take it into the locker room. Take it into the parking lot. Take it into the street. Take it into a bar room. Stone Cold and Booker T will tell you, you could take it into a supermarket. And that shit's hot. So they did this at the Performance Center. I fucking love this, man. A lot of people didn't like Shayna Baszler being there. I fucking didn't mind it because her facial expressions were badass. She was like, either way, no matter who walks out that championship, eventually it's coming to me. I fucking loved it. Sarah was there, one of the fucking coaches, their trainers. It was very realistic. I loved it. Because think about it. What more can you do with Becky and Charlotte that we haven't seen? They actually got creative. That's something we haven't seen. And then we cut back, because that evidently it happened this weekend. So then we cut to a Charlotte promo backstage, and Charlotte was cutting this little promo on Becky Lynch about what happened at the Performance Center, and she was tearing up like only Charlotte and Sasha can do. They can really sell those promos with the tears, man. They get very emotional, and that brings you in, gets you invested. And Charlotte was tearing up and saying, "I don't even know who you are anymore." That shows you that you will cross there's no boundaries. You don't care about what lines you cross. I loved it. And that's what I mean. I loved it so much that's where the problem is. If you look at Evolution, that is the only main roster match that we can depend on. That's going to give us any semblance of a show. Outside of that, what do we have, guys? I'm being serious. 6-woman tag match with Sasha, Bayley, and Natalya versus Riot Squad. That's really captivating. Bullshit. A battle royal. Nonsensical bullshit battle royal. They're claiming that the winner will get a future title opportunity. But Naomi already had that opportunity at WrestleMania. She won the battle royal, and she never received that title opportunity. So it's bullshit. All these awesome talents, like Asuka, Naomi, Ember Moon, they're all in there, and they can't showcase their talent, their skill. Because it's a battle royal. How much skill and talent can you showcase? when you're in there with 30 other motherfuckers. So Charlotte and Becky is the only match we can depend on, but we knew that from a month ago, a month and a half ago. We knew that was going to be the only match really that we can depend on unless they change things. Here we are a month later, it's still the only match we can depend on the main roster. Other than that, you have to go to NXT. Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane for the NXT Championship. Women's Championship. That's the only other match. The problem with that is the casual fan and the mainstream fan, they don't really know a lot about NXT. Then again, today's casual fan and mainstream fan, you can feed them horse shit all day long and they'll accept it. So maybe that's not a fucking bad thing for them. But for hardcore fans like myself, what is there that we can depend on? On the main roster, it's just Charlotte and Becky. We don't know what we're really going to get with Ronda and Nikki Bella. I'm a huge Ronda Rousey fan. I don't know what I'm going to get from that. I surely don't want to see that in my main event. The Battle Royal is going to be a fucking clusterfuck of epic proportions. The 6-woman tag match, I am literally going to be fucking nauseous, all of us, while watching that. That Sasha Banks has to do that again. Another 6-woman tag match with a fucking Riot Squad. I don't even know what other main roster match there is. There isn't. You have a nostalgia match with Trish and Lita taking on Alexa and Mickey, but at this point Alexa is injured, it looks like, so it might not be Alexa, it might be Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox and Mickie James versus Trish and Lita. That's your epic exhibition match. So as much as I loved this Becky Lynch and Charlotte segment from last night's SmackDown, it doesn't do anything for Evolution because that was already the one match we knew we could depend on. That was the one segment that they could actually fucking ease up a little bit, put on the brakes a little bit, and find the time in the show to elevate more stories for other females, get us interested in something else. But they didn't. They rested on the same Battle Royal bullshit. And the only other female segment that we got later in the night was some bullshit 5-minute segment to pump up a Battle Royal nobody wants to see. 5 minutes. That's all they gave them. The entire 2 hours go-home show to Evolution. 2 women segments. And the total minutes, are you ready for this? The total minutes that they gave them was 8 minutes. 8 fucking minutes to the females on their last show to their pay-per-view. And you tell me I'm just complaining? I'm just bitching? Or do I have some severe and sincere gripes? If you don't find that's bullshit, and again, this is whether you love the women or hate the women, or you like the division, you don't like the division, it doesn't matter. If you think that's right, if you're not rooting for their success Sunday, then you got a couple 2-3 screw looses. These females bust their fucking ass day in and day out. Shit you don't even see. If you don't go to a gym, by the way, and I'm not saying you have to, if you don't go to a gym and you realize how, and I don't mean just go to a gym and work out for 10 minutes and then post some pictures of you working out. No, I mean going to the gym and busting your ass till you're basically fucking limping out of that shit. If you don't go to a gym and know how fucking hard it is to train and what you're taking out of yourself just to drag your ass to the arena later and put on a fucking show for everybody that's gonna bruise you and beat you up even more. These women are doing what these fucking men are doing. The only difference is they're getting treated like shit for doing it. If you don't find an issue with that, golf clap. Good for you. Amplified man finds a damn big issue. Second half, are we still in the first hour? Rusev and Aiden English. Okay, I actually like this feud. I like Rusev and Aiden. I don't know why we're rushing it already. You could have made something cool with it. Or if you are going to have them fight last night, at least make it a story where they can continue the feud. Last night, this match lasted just a few minutes. Rusev crashed, and he ended Aiden English. Rusev destroyed Aiden English. There's no reason to keep this going. We already saw the ultimate payoff. So that whole Rusev Aiden English storyline, the whole payoff was last night's SmackDown. That's a shame. You could have done a lot more with Aiden English and Rusev in this story. So I don't know what that was about. It was good to see Rusev looking dominant again. I want to see that Rusev, but as a heel, with a heel Lana. But I just don't know why they would rush that and then totally kill it. They killed that fucking feud. That's what it looked like to me. That was literally Rusev crushing Aiden English. Miz TV with Rey Mysterio. I love this because Miz is fucking just entertaining as all hell. I love listening to the Miz on the mic. He's fucking it's just awesome. I guess that's the only word you can give the Miz. And something with him and Rey Mysterio, it worked on that Miz TV. And at one point, Rey Mysterio actually dropped the line saying, I am depressed and disappointed because I thought I was going to be on Truth TV. This set off a Truth TV fucking chant. This pissed off the Miz. Eventually, we had a match between Miz and Rey Mysterio. I honestly thought the promo was better than, or the Miz TV segment was better than the actual match. But the match was actually entertaining. It ended with Rey Mysterio defeating The Miz. It sucks to see The Miz lose like that on SmackDown, but it's Rey Mysterio. We know that he is one of the biggest superstars from yesterday, so you can't really have him lose either. All in all, that was a fun little impromptu match, I guess. But again, it's the Miz TV that I really enjoyed there. So there was some spots on this SmackDown, like Becky Lynch Charlotte, like Miz TV, and Rusev and Aiden English, that I actually enjoyed. I just don't see what most of this does for Evolution. Nothing. So then we went into fucking what they tried to build for this Battle Royal. Naomi and Asuka taking on Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. This match never even got underway because, again, they only gave them less than 5 minutes. So you can't have a fucking match and still try to sell what you want us to fucking buy. And what they want to sell us is a bullshit, nonsensical battle royal. So you can't do that by just 4 women in a tag match for 4.5 minutes. So what did they do? Before the match started, they had the Iconics come down to the ring, start cutting a promo. You had Lana come out to cut the Iconics off. Then Carmella comes out to cut everyone off. She's moonwalking. And she comes down. And that was a highlight of SmackDown for me. It's a dance break! And she starts doing that weird fucking thing. What's it called? Flossing that all the kids are fucking doing. Seeing Carmella doing it is so funny and hilarious. But she's also hot as hell. So it works. Even though it's hilarious, it's hot. It's Carmella dancing. I'll take that shit. Listen, with the fucking mundanity that SmackDown and Raw usually bring us, SmackDown at least brings us better TV more than Raw. But the last 10 to 15 years, I'm taking Carmella's dance break over 90% of the shit WWE tries to feed me. So that was a highlight for me. Dance break! And then fucking all of a sudden, Zelina Vega comes out of nowhere and we have a schmaz. Everybody's in the ring, throwing each other out. And when it's all said and done, Asuka's the last woman standing. Her music's playing. Like, we should give a shit about Asuka again. When they put her in obscurity for the last several fucking months. But wham, just like Ember Moon on Monday, if we put them in the middle of the ring with their music playing, they'll forget that we treat them like shit. Whether Ember Moon, Asuka, Naomi, whether any one of them win Sunday at Evolution, it doesn't make a difference. The Battle Royal doesn't mean anything. Naomi already won this thing at WrestleMania, and she never got her opportunity. I think that was even on a fucking pre-show. That shows you what WWE thinks of these women's Battle Royals. So at a show called Evolution, where these should be the most epic women matches and dream matches we've ever seen, let's throw another Battle Royal on the show. Guys, that was it. That was the female hype. Aside from Becky Lynch and Charlotte, again, which was already the only match we could depend on, the only other hype was 4 to 5 minutes of a schmaz between Zelina, fucking Lana, Carmella, all the names I just mentioned. How is anybody standing? How is this an evolution? This is not an evolution. This is the same shit I've seen for years. How is a 6-woman tag between Sasha, Natalya, Bayley, and the Riot Squad an evolution when I've seen Sasha and Bayley and the Riot Squad for months? It seems like years. Shane McMahon comes out and he starts talking about how Crown Jewel is going to crown the new best in the world. WWE is crowning this Crown Jewel tournament as the best in the world. How do you What do you think is going to happen when you come in front of a live crowd, especially Newark, New Jersey, and you start shouting best in the world 100 times? Do you honestly think they're not going to chant CM Punk? Even though we know CM Punk is far, not even close to the best in the world. That's what he used to call himself. So do you think by saying it 100 times, eventually a crowd is going to start chanting his name? That's what Newark did last night. Shane McMahon shut it down real quick. He said, I don't think he's in the tournament, when the crowd started chanting CM Punk. So that was a nice shot back. But maybe it would have been best if Shane McMahon didn't even acknowledge it. But I just think this is stupid to crown a best in the world because you're just invoking people to yell that douchebag's name. And on top of that, how is this the best in the world? You're trying to create new superstars. And so far, this tournament is filled with just yesterday's. John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, I think Randy Orton's in it, Dolph Ziggler's in it. It's all of these yesterday stars, man. So how is that the best of yesterday, you can call it? I have no fucking idea what this Crown Jewel tournament is supposed to be. I just know that I am not looking forward to it at all. I can't stand tournaments anyway, especially nonsensical ones like this. And then we went into a main event. I can't make this shit up. Go Home Show to Evolution's main event is Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy. Why are they even in the ring together? They already ended their feud. You had a great feud with them. It ended in the best way possible at Hell in a Cell, with Hardy making that fall like he did. Orton gets the ultimate win. You go your separate ways. No need to ever bring them back together. They do it just a month later. 1 month later, because they don't have anything, and they're like, let's put Orton and Hardy back together again. And that's what they did. That was the main event to Evolution's Go Home Show. Orton just beats Jeff Hardy pretty easily, I say. And at the end, we fade to black with Randy Orton doing his little Orton pose. What the fuck did that do for Evolution? How is the last thing in our minds being we have to tune in Sunday for Evolution? How is that doing that? That's just Randy fucking Orton doing his pose. That does nothing for Evolution. That does nothing for Crown Jewel. That is just mind-bogglingly stupidity. And everybody who had a piece of the pie last night, anybody around that boardroom table, from Vince McMahon to H to his creative fucking gurus and douchebags, his suits and ties, his cronies, his henchmen, they all dropped the ball bigger than I've seen in a long time for SmackDown. That is the last thing you would think to have, starting SmackDown with the Big Show and ending it with Randy fucking Orton. Oh, and 8 minutes for the females to remind you, Evolution is Sunday. And now you see why I say AJ Lee is literally our last hope. It just is. Are the odds good that she'll show up? Absolutely not. But could you imagine if that music hit and AJ Lee, the starter of the Evolution, actually showed up? It would at least be a moment. A moment. One moment that we'll never fucking forget. To what is otherwise going to be what it looks like. An absolute epic disaster. Anybody in WWE, if as of right now AJ Lee is not scheduled to appear, she turned it down, whatever the fucking rumors are, everybody in WWE, Vince McMahon, better be reaching out with heavy contracts, with sincere fucking monologues ready to go when you speak to AJ and you get her there. And if you're AJ Lee, you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I want to be there because I fucking deserve it. Either way, these two parties, they have to come together, man. One night. If CM Punk is really going to throw a hissy fit, her husband, I'm coming back home and I'll never return if that's what it takes to make you fucking happy, you fucking bitch boy. But for one night on a show called Evolution that she started, you're telling me she can't show up, say hello, maybe kick somebody in the fucking mouth, let the fans say thank you, AJ? and then go back to Chicago. You're telling me the WWE and AJ Lee can't be grown adults and make it happen? Again, at this point, WWE backed themselves into a corner. They have no fucking choice but to pull off something like an AJ Lee return. That's it, guys. That was the Go Home show. There's no more shows. In 4 days, we will all tune into Evolution and see the finished product. We'll see if it's as bad as we all think it's going to be. I really hope not. I'm hoping but the utmost success for these ladies. I'm hoping that WWE changes so many things last minute in the booking and the creative back these women and these females and make them, put them in the spotlight that they deserve. Put them in the showcases that they deserve. Show them in the light that they should be shown in. I'm going to shut up about it, man, because it just fucking irks the shit out of me how this whole thing, these last 2 months, this whole event has been put on the back burner, has been shit on, and has been honestly made to be a joke. AJ Lee, come back home, please, man, for one fucking night, honestly, because this fucking tragic show needs you. Amplified, man. For now, check you later.